Hello friends, welcome to the third lecture series of Google Cloud Platform. Today we will discuss about the Google Cloud IAM policy. Basically what is IAM stands for? IAM means Identity and Access Management. So basically Google Cloud IAM defines who can do what on which resource. Means IAM policy of the Google Cloud is divided into three parts. Who can do what on which resource. So basically in this particular lecture series of Google Cloud IAM, we will discuss about the IAM policies that can apply to different kind of principles over Google Cloud. So let's talk. First, we will talk about who. Who stands for the who part of a IAM policy can be a Google account, a Google group, a service account, or an entire G Suite or cloud identity domain. As you can see here that Google IAM policy can apply to any four of the principles. So basically who stands for what? We user. Who, like there are multiple roles allocated for a particular GCP project. Like you can say that there are different kind of roles such that user, billing, administrator, and so on, developer. So basically, to whom user we need to apply which kind of role comes under the who part. So basically, who can be categorized into these four type of principle, where a Google account, you simple says that you all have your Google account says as xyz@gmail.com, test@gmail.com. So that's called as Google account. Second is service account. Basically service account is like when you work over the Google Cloud Console, then you require a service account to access that particular Cloud Console. So that's called as service account. Second is the Google Group, and fourth one is Google Suite domain, or you can say that Cloud Identity. Basically, G Suite consisting of different kinds of software as a services which is provided by Google. Next comes to can do what. Basically, IAM roles are collection of related permissions where can do what part is defined by a IAM role. An IAM role is a collection of permissions. Most of the time, to do any meaningful operations, you need more than one permission. For example, say to manage instance in a project. So what is instance in a project, that will be discussed in a further videos. Basically instance, you can say that like in a project there are multiple instances, multiple part, multiple virtual machines present. So you can say that to manage instances in a project you need to create, delete, start, stop, and change an instance. So the permission are grouped together into a role to make them easier to manage. So can do what means for a particular, like for say example, you have an instance admin role. So what the admin role can be grouped together as a permission so that it is easier to manage the resources. And the third one is on which resources. Basically, users get role to on a specified item in the hierarchy. So, when you give a user group or a service account a role on a specific element of the resource hierarchy, the resulting policy applies to the element you choose as well as to elements below it in the hierarchy. So basically, on which resource means what a particular role of user can do particular things, or you can say particular operations on which resources. So basically this is all about the Google Cloud Identity Access Management, where you will learn about different kind of roles, different kind of operations on different resources. So there are three types of IAM roles: primitive, predefined, custom. So basically can do what part of IAM policy is defined a role, as I told earlier. So an IAM role is a collection of permissions, because most of the time you need more than one permissions to do meaningful work, as I already told. So for example, to manage virtual machine instances in a project, you have to able to create, delete, and so on virtual machines. So to make them easier, we need to define the IAM roles. If we are talking about the IAM primitive roles, which is apply across all the GCP services in a project. Primitive roles are broad. You apply them to a GCP project and they affect all the resources in that project. So basically, this is all about the primitive role. Now, as in this mentioned flow, you can see that the primitive role offers different kind of roles across the complete process. So we will come to this earlier later. We first discuss the remaining two roles. IAM predefined roles apply to a particular GCP service in a project. There are difference between primitive and predefined. Predefines are applied to a particular GCP service and primitive are applied across all GCP service. So basically, GCP service offers their own set of predefined roles and they defines whether those roles can be applied or not. For example, later in this video or you can say later in this lecture series, we will talk about the compute engine in the next video, which offers virtual machines in a service. Compute engines offers a set of predefined roles and you can apply them to compute engine resources in a given project, a given folder or an entire organization. So another example can be considered Cloud Bigtable, which is managed database service. Cloud Bigtable offers roles that can apply across an entire organization to a particular project or even to individual Bigtable database instances. So IAM predefined roles offer more fine-grained permissions on particular services. Like for example, you can say that with the help of predefined roles, you can easily delete get list of the compute instances. Now let's come to the last IAM roles called as custom. IAM custom roles let you define a precise set of permissions because you can create the role according to your own need. So with the help of this, you can say that a lot of companies use a least privilege model in which each person in your organizations the minimum amount of privilege needed to do his or her job. So for example, maybe like say I want to define an instance operator role to allow some users to stop and start compute engine virtual machine. So we can go with the custom role and allow me to do that. So that's all about the IAM roles defined by the Google Cloud. So as you can see here that IAM primitive roles offer fixed cost gradient levels. So as you can see that there are four roles mentioned over the screen. One is owner, editor, viewer, billing administrator. So viewer has only right to read only access. Editor can edit the code and editor can also the if he or she can able to edit the code and obviously he or she can read the code and owner can invite the members, remove the editors viewer from the project. So a project can have multiple owners, editor, viewers and billing administrator. So this is all about the IAM roles. So guys, thank you so much. I hope you find this video more interesting and you have a knowledge of Google Cloud little bit after watching the three continuous video of the Google Cloud Platform series. So in next video we will talk about the Google Compute Engine. So that's all for IAM policies. Thank you so much. If you like this video then kindly share, comment your views